Good morning, everyone. So today I have a PR package to review for you from SevenGreat. So SevenGreat is a budget-friendly craft store. Today I have two different cross stitches for you. One is going to be kind of a generic 11 count and the other is going to be a Joy Sunday. Today I went with a theme of spring as the warmer months are coming, and I thought it was more suiting to kind of just grab these now to give myself some time to work on them. Right now they have a special offer of $5 off if you buy $66 worth of product, or $12 off if you buy $106 worth of product. They have new arrivals. They have 15% off site-wide if you go and use their code SPRING15. And they have tons and tons of categories on their website for you to shop from, including top sellers, combination promotions. You can purchase based on sizes, brands, themes, and even price if you want to. First things first, these 11 counts usually come with a toolkit of some sort. You can see that it has 5 needles held together by your pom-poms so they're not running loose through your bag, a thimble ring which is adjustable, and your needle threader. This is going to be a picture you've actually seen me review a similar version of before. And if you have been subscribed to me for some time, you'll know exactly why I picked this. This is another one of those Tulip Girls. On SevenGreat, she only costs $11.56. Now, the reason I got another version of the Tulip Girl is if you are a longtime subscriber, you will remember that the one I purchased with my own money from a different website came with a huge blur on the canvas here because it got wet somehow. My package, like the packaging it came in initially, was torn, and then the cellophane on the bag to the Tulip Girl kit was also torn, and right around the center here she had been exposed to water and it was just blurry, and I'm lazy. I could easily have used the paper pattern because the paper pattern was clear, but I just didn't feel like doing that, so I got the opportunity to get another one, and I did. So now I have two different images of this Tulip Girl, and she is just beautiful because look how bold those colors are against that black background. And I just thought it was so gorgeous. Of course I got it. This comes with your general instructions in case you are new to cross stitch. It shows you here that there's 6 strands per thread, and then you use 3 of those for 11 count and 2 of those for 14. And then just some other information regarding the washable fabric. Let me just fold this up differently. There we go. So this is the full paper pattern. It will match the symbols and whatnot that you get on your fabric as well. I love this brand that says warm prompt at the bottom. They tend to do a really good job charting. My only issue I've ever had with them is the colors they choose. Once in a while when it comes to skin tones and greens, I noticed are the most trouble colors. But I have tons of those in my stash now, so I can just swap them out no problem. Their paper patterns are always so perfect and so clean and easy to read. And they are printed on tear-proof paper, so you don't accidentally rip your pattern, and it will last you quite some time. We have 30 colors in this kit, which is about average for this brand. And they do put the big numbers in the center of color blocking, which just makes it nicer because you don't have to keep going back and looking at your legend to find it. I should probably tell you what size she is, shouldn't I? Let me look here at the website. She is 40 by 56 centimeters. So not too big, but big enough to really have detail, especially where she's a lot of color blocking. You know it's going to come out crisp. Very clean on the paper pattern, you guys. I remember about a year ago now when I started printed cross stitch, and half of my patterns were so smudged and not that easy to read. They've come so far, let me tell you. Now is definitely the time to start picking up this type of cross stitch as a hobby if you want to. A good way to be sure that your pattern's going to come through is to always look at your paper pattern. You can very clearly make out her face and her hair, her neck, her shoulders, where the tulips are coming out. And this isn't always the only way to tell that your picture or image will come out good. It's just one of the ways, and it just gives me an extra boost of confidence that I can see the image. And before we go look at the fabric down here, it does give you the stitch count down here. So it is 147 by 216. Here is our canvas. It's not too much bigger than the pattern, if any bit bigger at all. This isn't overly saturated, so it does not hurt my eyes to look at. And as you see here, we have all the same symbols that we did on the paper pattern, so it should be super easy to follow for you. They do mark it and grid it for you, and they also serge it as well. The printing on this canvas is definitely as clear as, or almost as clear as you can get on fabric, as the paper pattern, which is really nice as well. And it looks like every single one of these symbols is sitting in their own square, which I don't really have a problem with symbols floating outside of their own square until I go 14 count or higher. But this one's just going to be a fun, semi-thoughtless stitch to do because of all this color blocking, but you also get the excitement of a little bit of confetti, which I think is a really good balance when it comes to such a large cross stitch. Alright, I like to bring the photo back out before I look at the colors. And if you've seen any of my other videos before, you probably know that this brand with the warm prompt does come with floss drops. They did put a rubber band on here for me. I'm just taking it off for the time being. And let's look at these colors. Let me open her up so we have the full image here. All right. So we have some purples, which you can definitely see are some of the shadows in this image, which is beautiful. Some pink. I love that shade of pink. It's so cute because, you know, there's pink in her face and a little bit in the tulips. There's this bright orange for her hair, a slightly darker orange for her hair. We've got some red. This kind of beige color. Another brown. Some straight gray. This super cute periwinkle type purple. Kind of ashy rose color. Some of this blue, which you can definitely see down in here and up in here. Now, 3865 tends to be what they do for the skin color which would be here, which I believe was number 30. So let me just put these down real quick because I want to confirm that 30 is 3865. Yep, 3865 right here is 30. And there's 30 right in her arm. And I don't know about you, but she's white, but she doesn't look that white. So what I tend to do is go through my stash and find a slightly more tan color. I already do have one because I picked one out for the other Tulip Girl and another image I have. So I have tons of it, thankfully, on backup that I can swap out with. So that's pretty much my only issue with these kits, with the girls from this company, is they don't usually pick a very great skin tone. So I will be replacing that. And now we have more of this creamy orange color for her hair. I'm surprised these didn't come connected because they're the same. This color, which looks like it would be in the tulips, which is a slightly off-white color. It could also be a little bit around her skin tone, so I would have to take that into I would have to take that into consideration when replacing her skin tone. We have these adorable pinks. $3341, one of my absolute favorite orangey colors. It's just so pretty. $951, which would be, or would have been, a better skin tone than just straight up white. And we have $939 instead of $310 for our background here. So this is just a very, very, very dark blue, or what I've heard other people call, in my family for hair colors, a dusty black. Then we have an extra $939. $819, which is a skin tone I used in a different image for replacement because the girl was super pink, but I wanted to tone it down so she wasn't like beet red. This lovely red color, like a dark brick red. More orange. This kind of gray blue, which you see a lot of behind her and in the shadows a little bit, plus an extra one. 353, oops, sorry about that. 353, another cute color. The colors are just super cute. I have one concern though, and I'll tell you that in a minute. Another color for her hair and some shadows. 318, 160, and 152, which is one of my favorite pinks in diamond painting, actually. So one thing I do like to pay attention with my kits sometimes is checking against the image like I just did and seeing that I have all the colors I need. So I don't mind doing white for the skin. That is not really an issue for me. So I'm noticing the other issue here that I have with the colorings on these kits, particularly this brand. Again, the skin tones and the greens, you see this is kind of like a nice teal baby green, and we don't have any of that in here. So what I'm going to do is, I did buy a few throwaway kits, is what I call them, that have mostly green colors in it, where the image was terrible, it was on sale, and it had a bunch of greens in it. And I bought it for this purpose of this brand. I am gonna go through and figure out which spot has or is the tulip stems and leaves. And I'm gonna take from that green stash and replace it because I don't think a dull gray or whichever gray in here was meant for those tulips is going to be very pretty. So I am gonna swap those out. And that is the first kit I got today. This next kit I feel like you may have seen before from other YouTube channels. spring cottage to be exact. It is 14 count, which means we are using 2 strands, and it is 25 by 26 centimeters. And again, 'tis the season, we are entering our warmer months, so spring indeed. Before I take this out and forget to tell you, Joy Sunday does have their instructions on the back instead of on the paper pattern as well. So it looks like we only have 1 sheet here for the paper pattern. Here's the image without a sticker over it. And on their website right now, it is only $4.62, which is an amazing deal considering that this will still take quite a bit of time. Here is the paper pattern. Look at the printing, very clear. It looks like we get 17 colors, and they will all be in full stitch. I'm not seeing anything about back stitch either, so this is very beginner friendly. With Joy Sunday kits, the paper pattern does not match the symbols on the canvas. So just be aware of that. And this is going to be a partial because you can see up here we're not stitching. That's just going to be the fabric kind of filling that in for us. Joy Sundays are always serged, and they are serged far enough to not be falling apart on you, I promise. I love my Joy Sundays. The fabric feels nice. It does feel a bit starched, but that is okay. And as you can see here, the symbols are different than on the paper pattern. Because the paper pattern for Joy Sundays, the background colors they use for the symbols matches the actual color you will be stitching, whereas up here it does not, because we know those flowers aren't green. You have a legend down here, well, not super clear, but clear enough to read. But what matters is how readable are the symbols here, and I'm already noticing right here could be a little bit frustrating, but that's what we have the paper pattern for. So it looks like the majority of the tough symbols are going to be here in the bottom, and the rest are going to be kind of just color blocking and solid color symbols, which will be up here, which is so easy to read that I'm not even worried. And it does also give you the stitches here. This one is 100 by 105. But don't multiply it like that to get your total stitch count, because remember, we aren't working these stitches up here. Let's get into the colors of this beautiful spring cottage. And I do gotta say, my favorite thing has to be these cute little bird hedges. Those are so adorable. So we have a floss card this time, and it has two needles stapled to it, as always. And they do mark that it is 14 count. And here we go with colors 1 through 15, and I gotta say I love these colors. Mostly because there's such a big variety. I love it when my kits have color variety. So pretty. And then 16 and 17. And here they are together. Lots of different contrasting colors in here, and I love it. Now I do gotta say, sometimes when you get a Joy Sunday, you will get a different floss card, and it will tell you the DMC code, how many strands, as well as give you a color sample of that thread. So if you buy a Joy Sunday kit and you get a different floss card, don't worry about it. I promise you the kit's still fine. I will be posting another video. I'm not sure if it would be on this one or the other kit, and I'm going to show you how I like to do my cross stitching and the method I use if you would like to see that. If not, you don't have to watch that next video, but I know I personally like finding out how other people stitch because I'm pretty sure I do it fairly differently. I didn't watch anyone else cross stitch ever to learn. I just kind of messed around and found out a method I liked to do. All right, and thank you guys for coming and seeing what I have today. I really do love that I was able to get 2 very adorable spring kits. Don't forget to go and give SevenGreat a little sneaky peeky because they are such an open, nice website, and they have amazing budget-friendly prices and tons of options to choose from. You don't even have to get spring kits if you want. I'm sure you could find Christmas stuff on there if you really wanted a Christmas item and starting it early, because knowing me, I would take at least a year to get my Christmas stuff done. Well, thank you guys for clicking on my video today. I have more cross-stitch content coming soon and diamond painting. Make sure you like the video to support my channel. Leave a comment and let me know what you thought, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!